Good morning, everyone. It's amazing to be here. This is an amazing place. So my talk today is called Celebrating an Ordinary Life. And it's all started many years ago. You know, you meet people and they say something to you and it changes your life. Well, I was doing, this was when I was living in Santa Fe. And it was over 35 years ago, I'm pretty sure. I was doing an improv class, and the remarkable instructor said to me, "The more ordinary you strive to be, the more extraordinary you become." So I've been trying to be ordinary. And of course it works. Of course it works. But we all have incredible longings, and our egos are very, very powerful. And we want to belong to something, and we want to be special. And this desire for specialness is important, and it certainly has its place. But it shouldn't be in charge. The ego should not be in charge. The heart should be in charge, of course. Our heart should be in charge. So I used a few books. Let's see. Outrageous Openness by Tasha Silver. Reinventing, oh, never mind.
Reinvented it?
It was a book by Thomas More. And Spiritual Literacy, Reading the Sacred in Everyday Life. So what that quote inspired me to do was really, it really helped me to seek the ordinary and seek the extraordinary in an ordinary life. So I'm going to read a few things. So the tradition of living an ordinary life is echoed in the traditions of the world, the religious traditions of the world. And so I want to read from this book, Christian monastic traditions, everyday acts are hallowed and considered to be as important as devotional rituals and community worship. Judaism, which calls itself a way of life, emphasizes taking ordinary experiences and making them holy. Islam urges believers to look for signs of God's activity in everything going on around them. Hinduism encourages recognizing manifestations of the divine in an enlightened person, a cow, a plant, or even a small object. Buddhist masters the world over have helped practitioners regard the routines of daily life, from walking to cooking, as essential spiritual practices. So this book is wonderful in how everyday situations, taking an everyday situation and turning to God, helps us get through the situation. Because it's an extraordinary event to actually turn to the divine within us and to make everyday life, to make everything we do every day a spiritual practice. It takes a long time to learn how to do that. So we need to acknowledge the ego and not overdo it and not underdo it either, because when that happens, we will suffer even more. Our ego will keep us stressed, trapped, feeling bad, feeling inferior, feeling inadequate, not tall enough, not thin enough, and not good enough. So when we have those stresses, there are ways to turn to God, and I suggest Thomas Merton has actually it's not Thomas Merton. It's an exercise from Greg Braden, and it's touching your heart, thinking of something that's causing you stress, and touching your heart, and slowing down, learning how to slow down and breathe. And your heart connects you to that. It releases you from your mind. It releases you from your heavy thoughts that you're experiencing in any given moment. And of course, that's just one way. Breathing into the discomfort that you're feeling, knowing that the suffering that you're experiencing will not last forever. That's truly important, because God will see, not that I believe in a God that's looking down on us and taking care of us, but the energy of God that is the love that we are, the truly inspiring energy that runs through us, the truly healing energy that runs through us is always there when we ask for it. And I've been known to ask for help many times, even though I don't believe in God as a father figure that will lead us to freedom. So last night I was struggling a little bit. My stockings were falling down, and then I couldn't find the box that held the headbands. So we're all, every day these things can happen. And what I love about this book is just the everyday happenings that she talks about, her experiences, and I will be returning this to the library. That's where I get all my books. And so she just tells her own stories and tells other people's stories about how, when in a tight situation, she is able and willing. And it's about being willing. It's about pausing in every day. It's about knowing that we are as God, as the idea of God inspires us, we are the inspiration for God. We are the expression of God on earth. We are the bridge between the earth energy and the sky energy. We are the creation of the earth and the sky. So can we be happy with the life just as it is? Can we release this inclination to complain about things? I don't know. I haven't yet done that. But it certainly does annoy me to hear people complain about things. Well, do something about it then. So ways to accept life as it is. To be present, to be truly present in our bodies and in our hearts. We are obsessed with being present in our minds, and we tend to think that that's who we are, and we're not. We are hearts. and we are love, and we are bodies. So to be present in those equally deserving aspects of our lives, our bodies and our hearts, equally. And it's still up to the mind to organize us. We have to use our mind to organize all of that. It's like trying to lose weight. You have to eat, for heaven's sake. You have to eat. So, but we don't get too far without being present with our fears as well as our pleasure. And knowing that there is no separation, that we, all that we are is part of God, part of that ineffable mystery that we have to return to, because there are just some things we cannot even remotely know, but we can appreciate everything. So after becoming present, becoming appreciative for everything that shows up. And I can't say I'm appreciative of everything that shows up. Believe me, I'm still trying to manipulate my world, you know. And and I have to just laugh at myself, because there is, for me, I just sometimes just get way too serious. So gratitude is a very important aspect of being present and of being in a space where we accept what shows up from the world. So if you must be extraordinary, one more thing. Nature is the easiest, quickest way to transform any kind of difficulty. And there are so many references to nature. So that's one of the things I highly recommend as one of the things I truly do. And what Iggy read about getting your hands in the dirt is just very powerful, very powerful, and a good thing. And so you must do it. I'm going to be doing it this afternoon because we're trying to do a garden. One of the most important and most neglected elements of the beginnings of the interior life is the ability to respond to reality, to see the value and the beauty in ordinary things, to come alive to the splendor that is all around us, the splendor of nature especially that is all around us. Wild and distant places speak to many who find in them opportunities to engage in the spiritual practices of wonder and gratitude. So wonder is a very important attitude. Just maybe going into things that are in front of you and just doing things you have agreed to do with curiosity and with wonder is amazing. Things turn out differently. Things turn out better when you go into things with wonder, because that's where you're coming from your heart. That's where you're truly coming from your heart. So if you must be extraordinary in how you treat people. Be extraordinarily aware Watch everything and judge nothing. Be helpful to others. See where you can fill in. See where you can be useful wherever you are. Sometimes last week in the grocery line. No, yes, it wasn't a grocery line. It was at the hardware store. I met this woman, and she was in line with me. She's a singer-songwriter, and she does something else, but she gave me one of her CDs, and I'm going to pass it on to Al because she might be the kind of person we would like to have at Cafe 704. So I'm going to pass that on to Al. But it's extraordinary the opportunities we have in the grocery line. And that's one of my favorite places, actually. So be aware, watch everything, judge nothing, be helpful to others, and have an expansive vision. If we reach out beyond this body and understand that we share connectedness with each other, the interconnectedness of all things and of all that we imagine we are, we can we connect, and that to me is a holy place. Unbelievably holy place when we are not just this body and this mind and this spirit. We are huge. We are together. We are connecting. So let's take a few moments now to connect. Take some breaths. Some deep breaths. Feeling how connected we all are from the moment. Moment to understand that there is a mystery beyond which we do not go, into which we reach, into which we seek, into which we find. But maybe only for a moment. And feeling the love all around us. Knowing that shortly we'll be busy again. But the healing around us depends on us. Thank you. That's all. Now it's open mic time. My favorite time.